The galactic training facility on Arcturus Prime had never seen anything quite like Jennifer Martinez. When she stepped onto the crystalline platform of Arena 7, every sensor in the compound flickered momentarily, not from malfunction, but from the sheer biological anomaly her presence represented. Commander Velkoth, a towering Draknari with obsidian scales and eyes like molten copper, watched from the observation deck with poorly concealed disdain. Humans had only joined the Galactic Federation 3 cycles ago, and already they demanded inclusion in the elite interspecies combat training program. It was presumptuous. It was audacious. It was, Velkoth thought, going to be a disaster. "Begin initiation protocol," he growled into the comm system. Below, Jennifer stood motionless in her standard-issue combat suit, dark hair pulled back in a tight braid, brown eyes scanning the arena with an intensity that made even the automated turrets seem to pause. She had specifically requested, to train with the Vraltix cubs. The Vraltix were apex predators from a death world 3 times the gravity of Earth. Their young, even in training, possessed claws that could shred titanium and pack instincts honed over millions of years of evolution. They were never trained alongside other species. Never. But Jennifer had invoked Protocol 7, an ancient Federation law that allowed any sentient being to request trial by merit. Velkoth couldn't refuse without causing a diplomatic incident. The arena floor opened and 12 Vraltix cubs emerged from the holding chambers. Each stood nearly 7 feet tall, covered in midnight blue fur that rippled over corded muscle. Their eyes, 6 per head, glowed with predatory intelligence. They moved as one unit, a perfect killing formation that had taken down simulation targets rated for full military squads. Jennifer didn't move. She simply stood there, arms relaxed at her sides, breathing steadily. "What is she doing?" hissed Instructor Tylin, a serpentine Scythian whose people had trained warriors for 10,000 years. "She should be establishing dominance posture. She should be—" The cubs broke formation. It happened so fast that the recording systems had to slow the footage to 1/10 speed to capture it properly. One moment, the Vraltix were advancing in their standard hunting pattern. The next, every single cub had abandoned tactical discipline and rushed toward Jennifer in a chaotic scramble. Alarms blared. Emergency protocols activated. Velkoth's hand slammed onto the abort button. But something stopped him. Jennifer had dropped to one knee, and the cubs, the carefully trained, lethally dangerous cubs, were pressing against her like oversized puppies. Their claws, which could rend armor plating, were carefully retracted. Their 6 eyes, designed to track prey across kilometers of jungle, were wide and soft. One cub, slightly larger than the others, nuzzled against Jennifer's shoulder with a rumbling purr that registered on the seismic sensors. "Impossible," Velkoth whispered. Jennifer's hands moved with practiced confidence, scratching behind auditory ridges, running fingers through dense fur, making soft clicking sounds with her tongue that shouldn't have meant anything to an alien species, but somehow did. The cubs responded like she was speaking their language, no, like she was speaking something deeper than language. "Get Jack down there," Velkoth snapped. Now. Jack Sullivan, the other human trainee, had been watching from the prep room. He was bigger than Jennifer, a former military officer with the kind of build that suggested he could bench press a shuttle. But as he entered the arena, he moved with careful precision, hands visible, posture non-threatening. The cubs noticed him immediately. 3 of them broke from Jennifer's group and bounded toward him. Jack dropped to a crouch, and within seconds he was surrounded by purring, nuzzling death machines treating him like a long-lost pack member. "This isn't possible," Talyn said again, her scales shifting through colors that indicated profound confusion. "The Vraltix cubs are trained to assess threat levels, to maintain pack cohesion, to recognize predators," interrupted Dr. Zareth, the facility's xenobiologist. His 3-fingered hands danced across holographic displays. "Look at the chemical analysis. The humans are releasing a combination of pheromones and subsonic vocalizations that register as maternal, paternal? No, something else. Something the cubs interpret as safe pack family." Velkoth watched as Jennifer stood, cubs flowing around her legs like a furry tide. She looked up at the observation deck, not challenging, not smug, just calm. Waiting. How? Velkoth activated the direct comm. "How are you doing this?" Jennifer's voice came through clearly, touched with amusement. "Doing what, Commander?" "I'm just standing here. The cubs. They broke discipline. They abandoned formation to reach you. Oh. Jennifer glanced down at the cubs who were now playfully wrestling around her and Jack. Yeah, about that. You said these are cubs, right? Juvenile Vraltics. Yes. And they're being trained in isolation from their parents? Raised collectively? Standard protocol for warrior training, Velkoth said defensively. It ensures they're starved for parental bonding, Jennifer interrupted gently. Commander, these aren't soldiers. They're children. And humans. We've spent about 40,000 years co-evolving with other predator species. We domesticated wolves, befriended cats, trained dolphins. We didn't do it by dominating them. We did it by understanding what they needed. Jack spoke up, his voice a deep rumble. These cubs aren't looking for an alpha, Commander. They're looking for family. That's not a weakness, it's what makes pack predators strong. In the arena, one of the cubs, the largest one, climbed onto Jennifer's shoulders, draping itself around her neck like a massive purring scarf. She didn't stumble under the weight. She just adjusted her stance and kept scratching behind its ears. Velkoth felt something shift in his understanding. The Galactic Federation had grown strong through technology, through military discipline, through hierarchies of power, but humans had grown strong through bonds. Messy, emotional, illogical bonds that somehow made them more effective, not less. Proceed with training, Velkoth said finally. But the protocols are now under human advisement. Jennifer smiled. Thank you, Commander. Now who wants to teach us proper pack hunting formation? Every cub raised a paw. From that day forward, the Galactic Training Facility learned a valuable lesson. Humanity's greatest weapon wasn't their endurance, their creativity, or their stubborn refusal to quit. It was their supernatural ability to look at something dangerous and deadly and see instead a friend waiting to be made. The cubs never forgot their human packmates. Neither did the galaxy.